Financial disclaimer. The information provided in this stream is for educational and informational purposes only and should not be considered as professional financial or investment advice. We are not licensed financial advisors, and the content presented here is based on our personal opinions and experiences. Investing in stocks and other financial instruments involves risk, including the potential loss of capital. Any investment decisions you make are solely your own responsibility, and you should conduct your own research and consult with a qualified financial professional before making any investment choices. The content we share on this stream may not be accurate, complete, or up to date. Market conditions and financial regulations can change rapidly, and we cannot guarantee the accuracy or reliability of the information presented. We do not endorse or promote any specific stocks, companies, or investment strategies. Any actions you take based on the content of this stream are at your own risk, and we will not be held liable for any losses or damages that may occur as a result. Always remember that past performance is not indicative of future results, and no investment is guaranteed to be profitable. Make informed decisions and consider your risk tolerance before investing any funds. By accessing and using this stream, you acknowledge and agree that we are not responsible for any investment decisions you make as a result of the content presented. You are encouraged to seek advice from qualified financial professionals for personalized guidance. Please invest responsibly, and only with money you can afford to lose.
Hey man, just found the next guaranteed multi-bagger.
Hey man, you found another one? What is it this time?
Come check this out.
Okay, next please. How can I help you, young man?
We want to go all in on SISI. We love indigenous plants, share dilution, and reverse splits. It's all bullish.
Well, that's fantastic. A really smart decision, young man. We can put that checked and it's gone.
Hey everybody, welcome to the Laughing Stock. I'm Redneck Johnny and Ranger Dayne. You are with me today, but we don't see your camera, I think.
I'm sorry?
I can't see your camera.
Do I share my screen with you normally?
I don't remember. I think you do.
Here, let me see if I can just share my screen.
Yeah, there we go. There we go.
I guess I'll share this one.
I think we're good there. Oh no. Hold on. I think if you stop sharing your screen now, then it will work good.
All right, hang on. Whoops. I don't have a question.
Here we go. Here now looks good.
I'm really here, guys.
Yeah.
It's all just it's an illusion.
Sorry about that. We like I said on my stream, there's I've had some issues with updating everything because I've updated to Windows 11 and then I just have to go in and do all the settings again, and it's just been a pain in the. It's just been a pain because I can't remember like what the setting. Remember we were doing this for a long time, Dayne, try to figure out the perfect settings and everything.
Yeah, we've really nailed it.
Yeah, yeah. So bear with us, but I think everything is good now. But it's all bullish, right? In SISI.
Oh, that's invest now.
Yeah.
Not financial advice. No, actually, because we were just laughing before we started the stream too, because it did have a little pop back on the after hours, but it sounds like they're just going to dilute the hell out of people after hours, and you know, it's like a random company that you just don't know what's going on, anything. So, yeah, somewhat risky, you know, slight risk.
Yeah. It's you said to me that you thought it was a coin or something like that. Like
I saw the Shine Co, so I figured it was a coin when I first saw how much it was down by.
Yeah, no, it's I saw it. It was down like 60% and 70%, I think, in the last month. they're gonna do. I looked them up a little bit, and they've tried to do like a reverse split for some time to not be kicked out of the index, but I'm not sure when that's gonna hit. And now they diluted the shareholders as well. But like you said, though, 13% up in the aftermarket, so it can get a bounce back. But it looks a bit ugly right here. Huh?
I think everything's turning around now.
Yeah, yeah.
Few more reverse splits, few more dilutions. It's gonna be there. That's
when you see the laughing stock go all in.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's my next on Monday. I'm just gonna drop everything I am at the market. I'm not even gonna pay attention to what the price is.
Yeah, good, good. Hey, it's been a good week, right? A green week finally, like the entire week.
Yeah, this was a great week for me. Portfolio's back positive and like swung like a good amount in the other direction. Portfolio's and I know part of it was like just small cap was up, which a lot of my stocks tend to be in small cap, but it wasn't exactly correlated. And just across the board, everything was up.
Yeah. And in my screening, I saw a lot of banks. Did you see the same?
Yeah, and I think the banks, the earnings reports were better than most people were expecting. So I think it's just people set their expectations so low, and then if anything like beats it. I mean, but that's what you and I've been talking about. It's just saying, like, some of these things, the narrative has been so bad for so long that everything just is kind of sold off so much, and then any good news you get just causes it to pop again. So
yeah, I think. I don't think I've seen that many banks since that tiny bank crash we had a couple of years ago, or 1.5 years or whatever it was.
Yeah, was that earlier? I think it was earlier this year, wasn't it? The bank run, or was that last year?
I think it was last year.
I don't even remember what year it is anymore.
No, I think it was early in 23.
Gotcha.
Yeah. No,
but I feel like
it's
everything was up.
And I keep seeing some insiders, which is good. Like there's been a consistent period now where you see these insider buys. So there was a long period before where you saw very few ones, right?
Yeah, and I noticed I've been going into some of the names that come up on the insiders, and like it's a good mix of things to look at, because a lot of those companies tend to react extremely positively to decent insider news.
Yeah.
Which not like a epiphany, like duh, but still I just like it as a screening tool, essentially, is what I'm saying.
Yeah. Yeah, because you have put them into your chart provider, right? So you can just pull up all the charts based on insider buys.
Yeah, I have a whole section that's dedicated to that, and also too, I have it, and I just been stealing like the CSV file and putting it into stock charts, and then just kind of going through the names and seeing if anything on a chart looks good as well, as and like this week, what was Doug was one that I was in that did great. That was a huge turnaround. BNED, I did finally capture some money back on BNED, so f you, but I'm taking my money back slowly.
Yeah.
And what else? And actually, to be honest, I'm still bullish BNED. I still I think it looks great right now, and it's like it's just annoying after everything that happened, but take my money back.
No, I talked a little bit about BNED on Thursday, because it was up 15-16%, and I was saying the same, like you can't ignore the point where we were wrong at with the heavy dilution. We didn't think that they would dilute that heavily. That's a big point to ignore, right? You can't ignore it. So in that point we were very wrong about. But the theory about if they could do something to clean up the balance sheet, they would start to grow and thrive. That's I think we will see that happening in BNED moving forward. The reports and everything talked about how they had grown the amount of university they were involved in and so on, and that's exactly what we hoped for and talked about.
Right. Well, and like I said, everything's a reflection, and all BNED did for me was just give me two hard rules. And the hard rules are, number one, if there's a negative event that's like a 50-50 shot, like wait until that's over with. If you miss the upside, it's not a big deal, but wait until that's over with. And number two, if there's, you know, like you can wait until like you can find some of these bottoms. Like, you know, that's part of the reason why I found like I'm kind of like getting in and out of things a little faster, because especially when we were following BNED so close, like I said, I feel like I could have predicted the price almost every day. I could have told you if it was going to be up or down, and I would say 95% of the time I was right. So it's just you're such like in tune with it. You're watching everyone talking about it, and like just like on a day where there's like positive comments, you're seeing kind of the stock price rise because people are hopping on, and then you know you'll see it pull back, and you realize like the range it's trading in until the next like news source comes out. You know what everyone's waiting for. So during that time period, it just kind of bounces up and down from like, you know, kind of like the low side to the high. And during that time, if you would have just traded it, I mean, you could have made a ton of money doing that. So it's whatever. I mean, yeah, it still sucks that I took that loss, because it's probably going to take me the rest of the year to make that back, which after last week, if I continue to do that, I'll make money the rest of the year to make that back, which, but still just tough.
Yeah. Yeah, and you said you were out again now, right?
Yes, I do not hold a position in BNED right now, and like
No.
I said too, guys, like you know, some of these things I am swing trading, so don't think like because I'm saying I'm bullish on it that I'm necessarily even in it. I might have, you know, I'm pretty quick sometimes now. It just depends on what it is, and you know, I find, in terms of my margin of safety, especially now that I'm trying to do some more trades, that as the stock price increases and it starts to get above where my margin of safety is, the amount I put in terms of portfolio size continues to shrink. So, you know, if something's like bouncing off the bottoms and it's super cheap on a valuation perspective for me, I'll go in on it 10% easily, 15%, sometimes even 20. It just depends on how good it looks. And as it creeps up, if I like it because of, let's say, the technicals or something like that, or I think there's good news, or you know, I'm really bullish and I want to go through an earnings report with them, I might go in, but it's probably going to be like a 2 to 3% position, because if it works out, great, and if it doesn't, you know, it doesn't crush you. So it's just something I've kind of like been working on, and same thing with anything. Like if the fundamentals aren't that great, but I think the technicals look pretty good, sometimes I have been taking a position, and it's more of like a trial and error thing right now. But there's so many times that just on the technicals it's worked out now. So I'm like, I don't want to discount that, because that's like essentially quick returns that, you know, it's like, you know, you barely put any research in, you're just looking at what the chart says and it says it's bullish. So I've been doing that on some, but it's you know, it's obviously hedging it based on position size. So I don't know, just something I've been working on.
Yeah, I think, but maybe if you have followed the streams for a little bit, you can see a little bit of a shift in the strategy we're using now, not in terms of like the fundamental philosophy that we have, but maybe we move a little bit quicker in and out sometimes. So it's even more important now to not take anything as an advice to invest your money, because the next day we might be out again. So that's a little bit part of like a little bit new direction that we are trying to move into here.
Yeah, I don't want to like, because there's like, just like Johnny's saying too, there's going to be streams where you're going to see my portfolio, and the next week when you see it, it could be drastically different, because a lot of those have worked out and or they didn't. So you know, it's part of the turnover. But
yeah, and I know it's boring. It's boring to listen to people say like, don't take what we say as investment advice and something. But
yeah, but it's not boring if you make the mistake.
No, and we just want to say it one time to many, you know, instead of misleading someone not on purpose, maybe. But you know, we have always said we are completely open and transparent in everything we do here. So it's important for us to you know, let everyone know that, okay, we are moving into a slightly different direction now in terms of our strategy, where we start to use technical analysis maybe a little bit more to time like an entry position and a sell position. And I guess you can call it more like a swing trade philosophy, but it's all based on fundamental numbers and all that. So it's built, it's just on, how do you say it in English? It's just like an extension of what we have already done, because we have seen that it has been working quite well so far.
Yeah, I mean, I think it's also like an adaptation, like we're like something like we've, extended, added on, whatever. It doesn't matter. We all know what you're saying, but yeah, and two things that I just to say before, so I can just stop talking about this because I'm sure no one wants to hear us talk about this. But one, I'm an idiot. Like all the time, I make dumb mistakes. So blindly following me is really poor advice. Do not do that. Talk to a financial advisor. And on top of that, too, I want to. The reason why we show our positions is because I want people to know that what I'm saying is truly what I'm in. And I'm not showing my actual cash sizes and whatnot just because I haven't found a. I guess I could find. I'm trying to get on that After Hour app, but the problem is my phone won't download that app. It keeps saying there's an error, because that way I could show you truly and people could see what my actual positions are and stuff like that. So it's not like or it would be transparent completely. But that's why I just show it on here and I show my percentages. And that way, if someone really cared, they could go through and look at the previous stream and look at what it did on the stock chart and see how these have been performing. Because I do want to be transparent about what I own and how much I own of it, and that way people can see that these returns are real and I'm not just nonsense. Because I honestly think there's so much BS online that it's kind of tough to parse through all that information. Yeah. But either way, for now, this is the easiest way I find of doing it. Just unless I guess I could screenshot my Fidelity account, but I'm just like, I don't want to do it the wrong way and give away information I shouldn't. So that's the only reason I don't really do that. But
yeah. And I think also this is it was an important point for us before we decided to stream. Like we wanted to come across as real, basically honest and real, because and you see, we have not taken down any streams when we were wrong about BNED, for example. We want to we want to have it there, so everyone who wants to follow us from the past too can see that see the development we hopefully will have. And we talked about it before the stream, like if we are gonna get some right picks, and people will catch on because they see that some of the tickers are doing well and stuff like that. There's no point if we haven't been honest all the time then. So this is an important point for us. So that's why we keep saying it also.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, I think hopefully in the long run, when we're, existentially rich, everyone can look back at these and see the progression and see how we got to where we got to. Hopefully people can see that.
Because after all, we are not, I said it on last stream, we are not like, veterans in this business. We are fairly new, both of us.
Yeah. Yeah. And to be honest, it's not really about getting rich. It's as always, it's just really about the financial freedom that, being an investor, if we were able to focus on this full time, what that would provide. So that's always the goal. I mean, the goal is just to, to have a nice nest.
Yeah. So a long ass way to just say a heads up, the strategy has moved a little bit, so we are a bit quicker in and out now. So I think
and so far so good.
Yeah. Yeah, it is.
If I get one more week like last week, I'll beat the S&P. So
yeah. And I know, Dayne, you said on your stream
up about 5%.
Yeah, you said on your stream last time that we actually have a goal when we are fully into this strategy to have a pretty ambitious goal for the week and for the months. And you know, it may sound it may sound impossible, but the purpose behind to have an ambitious goal like that is to have always something to aim for and to stretch for, you know, and hopefully we can be a bit more consistent than we have been in terms of being wrong on a few tickers so far.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, Value is here, Dane. Hey, Value.
Hey, what's up, Value? How you doing, man?
How was your week, Value? We're sitting here talking a little bit about how we are pretty happy with this week.
This was a great week.
Yeah. Let's move into the dashboard then. Let's start to pull up some tickers. I don't think we... You want to spend a lot of time here in the dash today, Dane? There was a lot of green stuff during the week, I think. Did something catch your eye, or?
Not particularly, just because so much I feel like was kind of up. Because Thursday is the day that I think was really good for me. Thursday or Wednesday, whatever day was the day that everything kind of popped again. And then I noticed that like the S&P and the NASDAQ, some of those were like still down that day. So it was like a great day for me, but I guess not for the whole market. But then Friday, a lot of those popped. So I feel like it was a good end to the week for everybody, kind of wherever you were in.
Yeah. And I saw shipping has done poorly this week, I think.
It's funny. I was literally just going to say the only thing that I really noticed is done terrible is shipping.
Yeah. So
which not terrible, but it just had like a big bounce, and now it's just kind of pulling back. So I don't know. It's probably just the cyclicality. I haven't really been following the news. I don't know if maybe stuff's getting moving again easier or whatever.
Yeah. And shipping, sometimes I'm interested in some of the shipping companies that I've found, but I think in general it's a very tough industry to fully understand.
Yes.
But I was following this guy on Twitter. I think I told you about it in another stream, and there are resources out there that are of high value, you know, that you can follow to try to learn. So it's just like it seems to like there's so many things to consider to if they're going to be profitable or not.
Right.
Bitcoin a bit up.
Yeah. But once again, still just kind of trending in that same area. I guess it looks sort of bullish on the chart.
Yeah. Hard to say with this one, but
the weekly doesn't look good though.
No. It could fall further, that one.
Yeah. So we'll see. We'll see what it does.
Yeah, I see solar is up. Still haven't found some good solar companies, but
I was saying before, NASCAR and I were talking on our last stream, but I did take a position in Maxion. It's a smaller position, but I figured if we can catch some of that, if there's a short reversal here, try and catch some of a squeeze here. So we'll see.
Yeah, because that was the one with heavy short interest.
And Value is bringing up farm as one of his things.
Yeah, farm
as well as AMR. But yeah, I was in and out of farm already this week. So it's already definitely a stock on my radar that I'm already starting to trade. So
yeah. I have transferred some cash, so I have a little bit of cash now. I'm like, you know, Value, that we have talked about. I have at least talked about farm, SPWH, and AMRK, and also from last stream ICD really caught my eye. ICD. Those are the ones I'm kind of like waiting a little bit on, but as all the rest companies this week, they had a good week, so I'm not sure if I will place my money on any of them, but I'm tracking them closely. We can go through a farm a little bit though. Because you took a position in them, Dane, did you?
For who?
Farm?
Yeah, I did, but I'm already out of it because it triggered a sell for me.
Yeah.
But it's like in my revolving list of stocks that I like, and I'll keep an eye on the chart.
Yeah. Hey, Value, is the sound quality and everything good for the stream? Just want to know if everything works as it should. And you said you were taking a position in Sporting Warehouse too, Dane?
Yeah, and I have a current position in Sports Warehouse.
Yeah.
Of course, right now, stock charts isn't working for me. It keeps saying it's timing out, so that's annoying. But but yeah, I have it's a 4.7% position in Sportsman's Warehouse. I just took it, so it's still new. But
yeah,
see how that one goes.
Yeah, I'm pulling them up now. We can start with them because they are interesting to all of us, I think. And did you manage to look at ICD, Dane?
Quickly, but I did not go in deep. So we can pull them up, or if you want to go through them a little bit too.
Yeah.
I'm just adding them to my fundamental list right now.
Yeah. And also this A-Mark Precious Metals, COP is involved. He is on a podcast talking about it now. He explains the thesis much better than I can, but I find it interesting. I think it's a bit, I want it a bit cheaper, so I'm just tracking this one, but it's one that is interesting to me.
Yeah, he was actually just on one of the podcasts I listened to again, and they were saying how well it's done for them. And he actually said that when it had pulled back, I think at the time it was down in the lower 30s. And he said he thought that was an interesting time if you had missed the initial first run up to look at it, which, I mean, just looking quick at the chart, he's not wrong. I mean, if you got in the low 30s, it's definitely had a little bit of a bounce there.
Yeah. I agree. If I had the cash I have now when it was at 32, and maybe I'm a bit more too stubborn, like 35 is probably a good entry as well. If you have the view that he has, if you share that view, he thinks it will go way beyond this, you know.
Yeah, it just depends on your time frame, I think.
Yeah. Yeah, because it's just a bit annoying to me that it just was closer to 30, and even earlier this year was that 25, you know. So, but I don't think it will go back to 25 again. But I was hoping it could hit 30.
Mm-hmm. Checking stock charts on my phone. I can't get it to load anywhere. It just keeps saying gateway.
Oh, really?
Failed. So I don't know if maybe their server's down or something. Which it doesn't matter. We can just keep going.
Okay.
Yeah, it's saying it everywhere, so their website must be down.
There are some issues then. Oh, yep, stream is good. Thanks, Value. Then everything works. But we can start with farm then. I know Value is interested in farm as well, because I think we are very similar in what we see here. And I just want to bring up also, like, I think there's a comment with Stabos saying that he's a buyer in around where it trades at now. And, you know, it was currently way lower at 241, you know. And
yeah, I mean, I still get possible upside, like upper threes.
Yeah. Yeah.
Is that what you get? Something similar to that?
Well, just by looking at this, I was thinking from 2 it would be a double, so like 4, yeah.
Yeah. No, I mean, I could see it hit 4 too.
Yeah. What are your thoughts on this one, Value? I know you have messaged me a little bit about it in the past, and I fully agreed with you when you did it. Like, because Because I pulled it up, I think, and it was way higher than this, and I thought I had missed it then, but then we actually got the drop back to where I would be actually happy with going in again. But I keep saying it, I didn't have the cash to spend on it back then, but so I might have missed it again. But what do you think, 282, Dane? Is that an interesting entry level for you, or would you like to? It's a bit high now, maybe.
I guess just because now I'm trying to look at each stock not just from a value perspective, because I don't get me wrong, the value perspective matters to me, but doesn't matter to everybody else. So my big thing right now with it is I wonder, are they able to continue to expand? Like, I'm looking more for the growth side of things. It looks like, you know, in terms of their projections and stuff, like everything's kind of stalled out. And I'm waiting for them to be able to finally kind of turn that around a little bit. You know, they don't have a ton of stores or anything like that. So I'm just trying to wonder where they're going further into the future.
Yeah. I'm just trying to look at Seeking Alpha. There's a lot of information on it here. I saw from one of the podcast episodes, I remember when I saw this now, but Courage has talked about farm as well, right?
Yeah, Courage has talked about it. I think he's been in farm for a while.
Yeah.
I mean, the big thing is it's kind of like turned around and become slightly profitable. So it had really sold off, and the numbers were really ugly up until that point. So it's nice to see them finally start to turn things around. So that's the big thing. But I would like to see kind of a longer range story that things are going to really start to become bullish.
Yeah. They have cut their cost a lot also, so no, I think this can go. I think this can go way higher than it is today, and I'm like I said, I'm following this closely, and if it drops a bit more, this is probably one that I will be very interested in to be involved in.
Yeah, and like I said, I definitely think there's room to run up here.
Yeah.
And
so
you know, I've
saying,
told
I'm
you,
not sure
where earnings start to kind of like turn around. That's where it becomes interesting to me.
Yeah. So value saying, I'm not sure if we looked into farm. I can't remember it, but saw it listed on your last two streams, but you didn't go into it. Yeah. No, I've just pointed out that I'm paying attention to it, I think. I can't remember last time where we did like a proper dive into it, but at that point it was trading at I think it was mid threes or something, so I wasn't too interested back then, but you know, at the cheaper level.
Value, I think the bigger thing is it's more just that, like I said, historically the past few years, I mean, just look at the numbers, they look ugly. And they're just starting to turn profits again, and they're starting to like utilize some different parts of what they're trying to change. They're trying to drive costs down, like he was saying. So it's just a mix of those things, and it's starting to show in the numbers. So, you know, something I've been thinking is just that it looks good on those. So I do think there's a point where they start to really turn things around, and I don't think the market has necessarily appreciated that. There was a good amount of short interest. It looks like it's kind of gone away now. So I think I think some of the bearishness that's been there has started to kind of wane, and you're starting to see that it could open up. Volume's been increasing, so I think it's starting to look pretty good here.
Yeah, and they have. If you look at the depth, at least in my data set, I have they have gotten rid of a lot of debt, and it seems like they've had a sale also of an asset, which probably is what they've used to pay off the debt. Then, So I don't think, and also there's a high insider ownership here.
Yeah, it's like 50%.
Yeah, and I think also they've had some restructures in the. There's a new CFO, I think. Is that right?
Yes, I think like a month ago or something, somewhere in there. A CFO, yeah, appoints Vance Fisher.
Yeah, yeah. No, I think you summed it up right. Though there's some. You can argue like they have started on their turnaround, and that the numbers will improve here and grow, and you know, there's also some interest in with other investors that we also follow. I think both Stavros and Courage, I'm not sure if they are involved here, but they are talking about farm and have some price targets which is around today's level. So yeah, that's also something.
The one guy, Mark Krieger, who follows it pretty well on Seeking, he even said also Lake Cornelia Research Management said it's on the road to over 400 plus of revenue is what they're estimating. So yeah. I would, a lot of the value names that Johnny and I typically like respect and kind of follow are interested in this name. And like I said, the short interest just really has dropped off. So to me, if all the shorts are out, I mean, that's room for it to start to run bullishly. You know, when they are already scared, like they know it's turning around.
Yeah.
And this is a market cap that's what, 60 million.
Yeah.
I mean, it's pretty small. We got another comment in here from Nicola. He said, "Hey guys, I hope you're doing awesome. A bit off topic, but I would like to start investing on S&P 500 long term. Which platform do you recommend that could be safe to invest for the next 30 years?" If you're gonna, I would say if you're gonna start like indexing or something like that into like a SPY or something like that, I would think that your best bet would be just one of the larger platforms. I don't know if you're worldwide or if you're in the States, but whatever is like the bigger investment type companies in your country, I would stick to those. I wouldn't be in like some small, like don't go on Robinhood. You know, like, yeah, if you're in Europe, I mean, Johnny, do you know some of the names more in Europe than probably better than
No, I just know the Scandinavian names. But
yeah,
I'm sure like
to your guys' countries.
Huh?
I said it's probably more specific to each European country. You know what I mean?
Yeah. But well, the way we have it here though is that we have some that are specializing on, you know, stock trading and fund trading, but they also just the local banks. You can use them as a platform and buy and sell. And for me, if I was gonna buy an index fund or something like that, a global index fund, I don't think I would bother too much on which platform to use, but just research like the fees and all that stuff to get it as cheap as you can. And then if you have a horizon of 30 years, I think I would just do like a global index fund. What do you say about that, Dane?
Yeah, no, I'm sure all that stuff's fine. And the other thing too is, you know, if you're looking to just invest for 30 years and you're truly just going to invest, which is probably the smartest thing for the average person to do. I mean, Buffett said it. Everybody, there's so many people who have said that. Like, if you're not going to spend the time to really sit here and try and learn insides and outs of the markets, that's definitely probably the safest bet. I hesitate only to say that because I know if too many people index, that could technically have some negatives, but I won't get into that. But yeah, I mean, if you're going to invest in something like that, you know, probably almost anybody would be okay if you're looking at like that long of a time horizon. If they have any bit of a history, like, you know, I wouldn't invest in like, you know, a brand new bank, but maybe almost anybody else would be safe.
Yeah.
But yeah, paying attention to fee and structures, stuff like that, because I don't know how it is in the States right now. Some of the bigger ones, like I said, I use Fidelity. It's super low cost fees. I mean, they're like, it's literally like nothing. It's insane.
Yeah. And the one I'm using,
just pay attention to that.
Yeah. The one I'm using is like in the neighbor countries you have lower fees than if I invest in USA, for example, which is very annoying for me. It holds me back a little bit in terms of the strategy we have been discussing now, and but at the same time I have looked for options and I can't find so many. You know, they are all very similar in terms of the fees and stuff, but the good thing is if you can find stocks that are not in the USA, the fees gets a bit lower, at least from my broker. And but the reason I'm not doing that is because my whole style is based off on Roaring Kitty, and he was dealing in the US markets, and I have all the tools that he was using, and I can't find the same tools in my country, so I don't have all the information that I have from the US market. So it's just it gets a little bit complicated, but I just need to pay a little bit of a higher fees than for every trade I make, which sucks, but that's how it is, I think.
Yeah, I mean, it is what it is. You know, and to be honest, that's probably a good thing, Johnny, anyways, because, you know, I might be able to swing trade a little faster, but that might work to my detriment, you know? So it'll be interesting to see because of the fees, and that's like an issue that, like, you know, you're going to probably be a little more hesitant to get in and out sometimes, where I might move a little quicker, and maybe that will benefit you. You know, it might be that I'm moving a little too quick sometimes. Yeah. So we'll be able to see over time if that benefits one of us either way.
Yeah, no, that's true. Yeah, Nicola, no problem. And let us know what you find out. It can be interesting to hear, because I have been in touch with my broker this week and complaining a bit about the fees. And they said to me they have no plans to change anything like that. And I understand, like, they have to make their money as well. I have no problem understanding it, but it's just the way I see it right now, there's a lack of option in terms of what you just said, Dayne. It will maybe hold me back a little bit to do as many trades. But maybe that's a good thing. But I just wanted to ask them if they have an option for a little bit of a more trading style strategy where the fees doesn't eat up the gain, you know. But they said no, basically.
Well, yeah, you got to work within the confines that you are able to. So
yeah, but it would be interesting, Nicola, to hear if you find a good option for you. So let us know if you find something. All right. What do you think about investing in S&P 500 when it's breaking records?
I think if you're going to invest in an index, that the best strategy, because I wouldn't even try and time things. I mean, if you honestly want to do some basic kind of technical analysis, I think there's actually some pretty good literature on if you're going to do that, and it's on a pretty slow time frame. Like if you're going to look for like a 30-year investment, like Nicola's saying, just keep putting slowly money into it. Don't overthink it any more than that. You're going to end up averaging somewhere better than not if you do that, because there'll be probably a multi-year period where you're down, but then you're going to have the 10-year bull runs that we have. So if you're looking out, I don't know how old you are, Nicola, but if you can stock a serious amount of cash into something that returns 10%, which is what the S&P does historically, in a 40-year time span, that turns into millions of dollars. So if, you know, it's like I said, to the average person who doesn't want to go through and doesn't enjoy it like Johnny and I do, don't stress yourself out. Just keep stocking money into something like that. Talk to a financial advisor, because they're going to probably be able to better diversify. Not saying the S&P 500 is not a great thing to go into. It's historically done great, but maybe they'll recommend like maybe splitting it amongst like 2 to 3 different indexes, a little different styles, kind of hedging your bets that way. But like I said, we're not financial advisors. I would speak to someone who knows that, and that you can trust. And I think you'll be set if you keep stocking money into one of those, or a few of those.
Yeah, and a general advice there also is like to not maybe not put all the money in at the same time, but do it in portions and average in and also out, like we are also doing in individual stocks. But if you're a bit worried that it's in breaking records right now, and that's maybe a way to like get in on a lower side too, to split up the money you have in portions and slowly add it into the index.
Yeah, I mean, there's probably a bunch of different ways you could kind of do these things, but just, I mean, no matter what, Nicola, if you're ever looking at a chart and you see where someone invested in the S&P 500 and it dropped afterwards, just zoom out, because if you zoom out, you realize that that's only going up and to the right. You know, it's you might be like, for the next like 3 years, like let's say tomorrow the stock market, or on Monday the stock market crashed and you had just put all your cash in. Like, yeah, you might be down 30%. It might take a few years to get that back, but it won't be that long. And you'll be investing at that bottom now, and you'll surpass it at some point. So it's, you know, granted, as long as we don't have World War III start or something crazy, we're all going to make it. And to be honest, the last 2 world wars, we still made it through those, and the stock markets all survived. Yeah, they went down, but they all survived. So, you know, it's just one of those things that, like, if you're just trying to build a solid retirement for yourself or your family, you know, I think it's pretty decent, like in terms of a strategy to just keep stocking money into something like that.
Yeah. And
don't overthink it. Keep it simple.
Yeah, especially when you have that time frame that you have with 30 years. And I mean, if that goes to if that full on crashes anyways, there's such a disaster in the world that you don't need the money anyways, probably, you know.
Yeah. And to be honest, you know, Johnny and I have talked about it. We have other portfolios that are much safer in terms of risk. So this portfolio is a separate one, and this is where, you know, I'm trying to outperform in these portfolios here, but it's not all my cash being thrown into one portfolio. So even me doing this, I understand the risk that I'm taking on here. So I make sure that my entire portfolio isn't just in this.
Yeah. And of course, the reason to do this is to try to get some gains a little bit quicker than maybe 30 years then, you know? Yeah. Yeah. No, but thanks for asking, Nicola, and I hope we answered in a good way here. All right. I don't know, Value, if you did we do enough on farm, or should we?
I'd just like to point Nicola, or not Nicola, to Value, that I think farm looks pretty good here. Even at 280, I mean, it depends on what kind of return you're looking, but like I'm looking at the technicals here. I could see this get up to 350 on the technicals.
Yeah.
And you know, that's, you know, whatever kind of voodoo science you want to call the technicals. Even up to almost 4, I could see it hit. It looks like it's holding up on almost everything, and the daily looks great to me. So
yeah. No, he's saying, Dayne, thank you. Farm seems promising.
I might go back in.
Yeah. Yeah, no, like I said, this is one you might see in my portfolio soon. You want to go? I did ICD on Thursday, Dayne, but you want to go through it together, because to me it looks very interesting.
Yeah, let me. I already got it pulled up, so we can just start going. I have not looked at this, so bear with me as I'm just trying to catch up.
Super tiny company, 17 million, and on Thursday I talked about it because I watched this company years ago, and there's a story with a guy called William Monroe that was a bit like, he had some late filings and stuff like that. It just was a bit weird, but I think he's now out. So I have actually followed this company for a while, like on the sidelines, but I haven't put them in my tracker until now. But I wanted to kind of just confirm some of the numbers because they look very good to me. What do you have for cash generation here?
Like from operations?
Yeah, operating and free cash flow.
I have almost $4 a share right now.
Yeah, same here.
When is this debt due? Because that's the only thing that kind of catches my eye immediately.
Can't remember if I checked that out last time. I think I did.
It says most of the convertible notes are mostly due on 26. They have a revolving ABL credit facility that's due in 2025, but that's only 8 million. But the problem is 8 million is a decent amount of cash to them. Just to play devil's advocate to you, things that make, I mean, besides the really small market cap, but book value's really been kind of trending downwards, like pretty badly. They've been diluting shareholders. Do those concern you?
And they have not had one single year with positive earnings.
Yeah, I mean, is there a story of a turnaround here?
This guy Chowdhury has written about them a lot, as you can see on Seeking. So he probably knows them very well.
Yeah, it says they're navigating through operational challenges.
Yeah.
He really follows it, because all the way going back, he's telling you when he thinks to hold, when to buy, when to.
Yeah. But the last article is from a year ago, and it's down quite heavily since then, you know?
Yeah, I mean, the market's been kind of ranking them ugly, but it does say that they're having a strong chance to kind of revise where they're at, so.
And Starbucks is here.
And even though their guidance hasn't been great, they've at least hit with a kind of the improvements that they've been talking about.
Yeah. But this year seems very good compared to other years that they have had in the past, right? So in terms,
better.
Huh?
Definitely better.
Yeah.
But I mean, the margins are slowly improving.
Yeah, they are.
Which is big. But like you said, Netcom is still negative and always has been. And this year's, or at least the past 12 trailing months, have not been great. It's still, I still get a loss of 47 million.
Yeah, and the debt is slowly creeping up year after year also. And so is share count. But you can't access the charts?
No, it finally started working again. I just pulled it back up, and on a chart here, I'm just looking at like a daily chart. It looks like it's kind of starting to turn here.
Yeah, that's what I saw last time.
I will say though, the weekly still looks kind of negative. So I don't know how big of a move it would make.
No.
But it looks like it could be due for kind of a stop to this downtrend that it's in.
Yeah. No, I agree with that. I added them to my tracker, and I think I will follow them, and I think around here is, you know, if you like the numbers here, I think this is a good entry point. But I'm not gonna enter because of a couple of things. As I know the history, it's just like something in me that is like a bit sketchy here, that doesn't add up, and I'm a bit worried about it. But also tiny market cap, and right now with my cash position, I'm not sure if I would risk to put it into something like this versus, for example, farm or something else, you know.
Yeah, I think I'd like to see something more bullish in terms of like insiders or something.
Yeah, but Starbucks was saying something about that. He was saying like there was a question, insider buy things at these levels, and this is now in July, and he's saying of course not, they are working on something and are no doubt blacked out. So I don't know. He could be right about that.
I mean, they do have some ownership.
21% I get almost. But going back to this Monroe guy though, I saw him a lot. I spent a lot of time figuring out, because there was a guy on StockTwits, I think it was, or something, that his name was like Bonefish Willie or something. I don't remember what it was. And it turned out it was this William Monroe guy.
Good old Bonefish.
Yeah. And if you look at his purchases, he got it a bit wrong, it seems like, because he sold out. I'm not sure if he sold completely out, but he has sold his position around where he also entered, you know. So just something to keep in mind, I think, that he was very bullish on it and probably saw some similar stuff that we are talking about now, and it didn't happen exactly like he hoped for, you know.
Right.
I think it was Bonefish Willie.
Yeah, I just need more here. I'm not saying it's not interesting, but it's, I mean, it's definitely like still kind of ugly. So it's but I think it looks like it could be starting to find a bottom. I'll say that.
Yeah, I agree with that. But it's in the tracker. I'm gonna pay more attention to it even now. You want to go to did you have some tickers, or should we just go with the list I have, or?
We can go through your stuff because I already have all yours pulled in.
Yeah, I kind of want to do FC because I've had them for like a couple of streams and haven't managed to get to them. So maybe we start with FC.
I mean, I've looked at FC before, and I think the numbers look great on them. This is not like the past two companies. This one is has been doing great the past few years. I mean, they're buying shares back. I mean, this is they got cash.
Debt is down.
That's non-existent essentially.
Yeah. Increased
earnings. What do you say?
I said increased earnings every year since COVID. And 5.5% short interest.
Yeah, I mean, that's probably gone. Just if you look at the past, like, I don't know, 2 weeks, I mean, the stock price is really appreciated already.
Oh, you think it's a little bit of a squeeze? Oh, that's on an earnings report too, though.
Yeah, I'm just saying, I mean, it looks good. I think, I mean, you could still catch a quicker return on this. I don't know how much it will continue to go. It looks like it's starting to kind of slow down on this buildup, but on like a weekly and a monthly chart, it looks good even. But I do question how high this will run.
Yeah. Yeah, it seems like I think I plan to do them, you know, what is it now? Like more than a week ago, and I think it looked a little bit better back then, right? Because this recent spike up is it's pretty big.
Yeah, I would say right at the end of June, it looked really interesting. I wish I would have noticed it then.
Yeah, at 30, 34.
Yeah, somewhere around that week of the 24th there, 25th. Everything starts to really turn around then.
They are doing a lot of good things. The margins are improving. They get their costs down, like you said. They're buying back shares. The debt is they have full control of it. You know, earnings is growing. The cash generation is well, it's growing from last year at least. Earnings are growing. Retained earnings. So no, I like it, but I think it's a bit late here.
Yeah, I agree. Just missed the timing on this one, but definitely interesting.
Yeah. And they also have room to move with the cash on hand there. 13% ownership too.
Yeah, and like I said, they're doing share repurchases. I mean,
yeah,
they'll probably stop that now just because the stock price continues to go up. See, this is one thing that does seem to make me nervous at times. Is sometimes these companies will add shares or something like that when they get really overpriced. So, not that I'm saying it's overpriced. It's not overpriced here. But maybe I don't know. I've just seen that with companies where it's like everything looks really good, and then the company takes advantage of how good it looks by offering equity there because they can get like such a premium for that money.
Yeah. But that
So
would be
yeah,
weird
to
to
me,
do here.
it's too high here for me right now.
Yeah, no, I agree. The next one I've had for a while now is JRSH. I pulled them up in the same time as FC, so maybe the same goes there. That it's a bit late. But let's check them out then.
Yeah, I think I had just looked at these guys not too long ago.
Yeah. Sport and outerwear is the company offers t-shirt, jackets, and pullovers, pants and shorts, crew neck polo shirts, and tank tops made from knitted fabric, as well as personal protective equipment. So clothing stuff here. They also have cash, shows up as safe in my sheet. There's literally no debt. They do have a constant dividend of 20 cents, according to this data.
Yeah, the only thing that scares me about this is how illiquid it is.
Yeah, true.
Like lately, the volume has been like crazy low. Like this, like yesterday's volume was 2,000 shares.
Yeah, that's not a lot. That was very low. Is anyone interested in this then?
The last article I'm reading through on Seeking's kind of bearish. I think I looked at this just not that long ago because this is all starting to come back to me now. So
yeah, he has a sell ready.
So the story from what I remember is VFC is one of their biggest customers, and VFC has been really struggling and doesn't look good right now. So if they were to lose them, JRSH would get kind of just smoked.
Yeah.
So I think that's why you're kind of seeing a bit of a pullback here, and probably could be for a while.
Yeah. They're talking a little bit here in the comments that the management have been fairly positive on the earnings calls.
Yeah, the only thing though is right now they do have cash. They don't have really any debt. Their balance sheet's great. This last year and kind of it just kind of looks like stuff's trailing in the wrong direction in terms of sales and all that. So that also is somewhat concerning. Is like I don't see any positive catalysts like right now to get this to turn around.
Yeah.
I mean, like I said, it's still a decent company. It trades way under book value. So I would argue it's cheap here. But the reason I think it's cheaper than it should be is just because there's no super positive narrative right now. And there's a chance that if they lose VFC, that it kind of like it could really hurt this company.
Yeah. And this year revenue is down also. And, the cash generation here and operating cash flow, free cash flow, it's still positive, but it's going down, like you said. But I looked at the margins, also going down a bit. So even though it looks good on a lot of things, maybe this needs a little bit more to convince me.
Yeah, I wouldn't. I'm not interested here until I see something else turn around.
Yeah, and I mean you can pay that dividend with when they have no debt and all that. But what do you think about a company like this paying dividend, Dane?
Well, the one thing I'll say is the dividend, if anything, right here, it's nothing crazy, but it just shows in my mind that management still believes in the company. So I actually don't mind it. The only thing is, like I said, is right now they aren't diluting shareholders terribly. They're not taking on debt, but they are burning cash. And a part of that cash is that dividend. So I wonder, if you're a dividend investor, I could see this one slowly drying up. Now they have a few years of time. So I think the bigger thing here is how does VFC continue to do going forward? And also the fact that they make all their stuff out of Jordan. That part of the world typically can be unreliable at times. So all those little things, that's what I'm saying. I don't think there's anything wrong with the business right now. I think it's just
there are better opportunities.
Yeah, I just don't see enough on this one. But I mean, it's a clean balance sheet and all that. I think it's probably a safe investment in terms of like, well, I don't know. I have a hard time saying that actually.
Yeah. I think you are right. And let's say they end up cutting the dividend, and this will drop from that news.
Yeah, I think I put a hold on this.
Yeah. All right, you want to move on to Helen of Troy?
Yeah.
Do you know about this company? Because I do like the name.
I've actually not looked at them.
No.
I know some of their brands.
What are they doing?
Split business here too.
Is it for like buying stuff for your house and stuff, or?
Oh, just like it's saying in its actual thing, like part of it's home and outdoor, and then the other side's their beauty and wellness. So like they own brands like I know Hydro Flask, Vicks and Braun, Honeywell. Those are like products and stuff like Pure. That's like faucets and stuff like that. So it's definitely a holding company almost in terms of like those brand names. It says it has, I mean, it's stuff all from cooking as well as all the outdoor stuff. So it's a mix of different stuff. I mean, it's really. I mean, it's really random. Liquid-based hair and personal care products, all the way to thermometers, water, air filtration systems, and fans.
Look at the chart, though.
Well, I will say, even though they're diversified and they're buying, I'm assuming a lot of these are acquisitions that they've done. They're actually doing pretty well with that.
Yeah.
That being said.
I kind of like what I see here. They had a big acquisition in 22, or maybe multiple ones. The debt is down since then. The cash generation is pretty good, right? Okay, it trades a bit high, $64, but still I get $5.50 in free cash flow. And if you look at the 7-year historical, it's $7 in free cash flow. That's still good. And what I just noticed also, Dane, is that they are around book value right now, but there's a 12% short interest here.
And what was the negative news that just like killed this here?
Earnings report.
So is it just poor guidance going forward?
Probably. Let's check here. Yeah, lowered guidance.
Yeah, that's one thing I told you is like an absolute no for me.
Yeah.
Because it's just and short seller. Do you know Mark Cahodes?
No, I just read it here. I don't know him.
Oh, he's very he's all over on X if you follow him. He's definitely like a short person that has like some serious weight. Like if he says he's against something, he'll try and push it down. He's like very aggressive with what he's saying and how to short things. He's not always right, don't get me wrong, but he's very adamant about his shorts. So if he's against it, and to me, it doesn't look great here.
Courage is here, though.
Yeah, Courage was, I think, arguing with him, wasn't he?
I'm trying. Is Hedge Eye? Is that the guy or?
Yeah, I'm not saying I think it's like this big drop off. It's whatever, but to be honest, at the same time, do I see it really pop back right here? No, not with lower guidance.
No, okay.
I mean, it'll come back up somewhere. I mean, it's not. Don't get me wrong. It's not gonna. I don't think it'll hold at 64. It's been slowly growing. It's just guidance slowed down. So you're gonna, where before it was trading at this huge premium of double book value. Now it's right back down to book value, and it's probably going to creep up at the rate at which book value has been increasing, which is only a few dollars a year. So could I see it being worth easily in like the $70 to maybe $80 range? Yes.
No, but there's Courage is there's a beef going on on Twitter, Dane.
Oh yeah, but Courage is always arguing with everybody. I mean, Courage goes long, and Mark's short. So
yeah. Okay, interesting to see though. But I do like the numbers, but this is a big drop. It's 52-week low is at $60, and it's pretty close to that now. And if you zoom out on the chart, like right now, it's in no man's land. And where is the next support line here, do you think?
Well, I mean, I'm going to agree with Courage here. If Mark was saying that this is going to zero, then like they're out of their mind. Like no way.
It's not going to zero. So I don't understand. I don't understand how you can. Was that the guy who shorted it, like the one you said?
Yeah.
Marco Hodes.
No, I follow him because he does have some interesting short positions, and also, I mean, some of the long positions he's typically short, but he has put out some long things.
Yeah.
But I mean, like I said, I agree with Courage here. I mean, this probably will come back a little bit because I kind of agree this drop is a little bit much. But
Yeah.
I mean, I don't know how much it recovers here either. But they did miss their earnings per share by 76%. I mean, that's a lot.
And he's saying also though that they bought back 1 million shares of stock in the quarter at an average price of 99 bucks per share. You know, that doesn't turn out to look very good right now.
It's not
if
great.
That's true.
But yeah, like I said, I've learned at this point, like I don't get involved in something after like a huge
For guidance outlook.
yeah, like a big guidance change like that that's now all of a sudden to the negative.
Yeah.
That to me is I'm gonna wait and watch it kind of sell out as much as possible before I become more interested.
Yeah. But I can understand their arguments if one side here is betting that it will go bankrupt, because I don't see that at all.
Well, I don't know if it's necessarily because that's not necessarily that's just what Courage said.
Yeah.
But Courage, he's just I think what he's just trying to say is like, stuff like this drops so much, but like it's not dead. So like, is the drop justified? Probably. But are people if people are still shorting here, I think you're nuts. I wouldn't heavily short here by any means.
No. But I must say though, like looking at the numbers, okay, I can see this going up maybe to $100 again also, but at 64, it's I think you can justify that price right here. Do you agree with that?
Yeah. And also, I mean, Mark was talking that he was saying that HELE, when it was above $100, he's saying that that's when he thinks it should be shorted.
Yeah.
So if he was shorting over $100, I mean, he did fine too. That's a huge drop from 100.
And
that was on
probably,
July 9th.
Yeah.
And it said he actually had a short position in December. So it was actually at $122 then. So, I mean, more than double book value. So, I mean, Mark's probably right for his time frame.
Yeah.
I mean, you think about it, you shorted, you were right. It's a huge drop, a 50% drop from 120 to 60.
Yeah. If he exit here, then he has made a good prediction.
Yeah, like I said, I don't. Courage is probably right, as in where Courage. This is just different styles. Mark's probably, like I said, he's been short since this has been in the upper 100 or like the low 100s, and now it's starting to interest Courage because he's waiting for something like this to kind of start to pull back because he's looking at the same thing that we are a lot on this stuff that's low. Is how ugly does it look? Is it going to drop from here? Because if not, then it's cheap.
Yeah. So what you are saying is they can both be right.
Well, yeah, but I mean, stocks go up and down.
Yeah. No, but it's true. It's It's funny to think about the opportunity here, and like you can have different strategies and look at this completely different, and both kind of be right, you know.
Yeah.
All right, you want to move on then? I don't think I'm interested here, just because there's a lot of.
Yeah, I'm just looking through real quick because I'm just adding some notes to it.
Yeah.
This one wasn't in my database, so I just wanted to get it in there.
Okay. For a longer term hold though, I don't think it looks too bad right here, but I'm like, I agree with what you said about waiting and see a little bit where this will land, you know. And then of course you might miss out if you do that. But on the chart right now, I'm curious to see if it will bounce back or continue the drop.
Yeah, I mean, no matter what, you know, this is why I like the charts, because like I can quickly look at that story and then I can start to go to the chart and I understand that chart now so much better. Like I know what I'm looking for. I'm looking for it to finally bounce off the bottom here. And, you know, I don't necessarily think it's going to get this huge jump up, but as it starts to have its price converge down here, we'll be able to start to see what its next highs will be. And, you know, and if the market continues to be bearish here, which I don't think it will be, I think it's going to find some traction here.
Yeah.
Because otherwise, I mean, the company's, you know, yes, the earning per share change is pretty devastating. So we'll see what that does.
Yeah.
But I mean, you know, to Mark's point, you know, like in 2023, they had such good numbers. Like, you know, is it realistic that that's going to keep up? Probably not.
No. No, last time you saw numbers like that was during COVID, right?
Yeah. And I mean, historically though, it is well run. Just it's just tough to keep up like those numbers for that long. I mean, it's a lot of growth. Revenues started to stall out, and I feel like as soon as you start to see revenues kind of cut back, you know, I imagine a lot of their stuff, but the benefit of COVID was like their household products, and you know, people were buying a lot of stuff for their houses as well. And you know, now that market's kind of slowed down, it's, you know, you're just not going to see that growth that they had during those years.
Very few insider ownership though.
Yeah, another reason. I'll keep an eye on them though, but
yeah.
The negative revision for me is tough because, like I said, all my valuation calculators are based on the previous numbers. So if I know going forward that things are headed in the other direction, I have to assume I have to put a discount on all those.
Yeah.
We'll see what the market says. It'll be interesting to see. I always like to, you know, see how I think things are going and where I think it's going to end up, and then you can figure it out from there.
I didn't see it before now also, but they don't have any cash here on their books.
Yeah, but they do historically run pretty low.
Yeah.
In terms of like just hold out, it's probably better for the business that they don't hold a ton of cash.
Yeah. But if something happens, then they might struggle a little bit.
Yeah. Yes, but also, I mean, they don't have like anything due right now, so it's not like they need to have these big cash positions. Like that's probably not beneficial for them.
Yeah.
But I mean, still 152 million in earnings. It's not like it's bad.
Yeah. And also, like you keep saying though, it does look like it's well run, this company, but
Yeah, I know. I agree. I think it looks good.
Yeah. But I'm
just
surprised
right here.
that
I'm just curious to see where it goes.
I'm surprised then when you see that type of numbers and growth, and you see no insider buys whatsoever.
Yeah, something like that would make me think that it's overdone.
Yeah. Yeah. Okay. All right. The next one I have is. Can you do a bit more, or you have to go? Or?
I just have to be done around 8. Like at 8, I gotta pretty much be getting out because I just got a lot to do. So
all right. So one or two more then.
Yeah, we can at least do one more.
Yeah. The next one I have is TIXT, technology company.
Yeah, it's another one I have not looked at.
Okay.
I always like to
they
find
trade 13% to the 52-week low. I think it's Canadian, so I don't have the information of open insiders and all that.
Oh yeah, I don't have the Canadian Insider one either.
No,
it's another service, and I just have never paid for it because I'm like,
yeah, same here.
Like it's not always that I need it.
But revenue's up, but they have some dilution now. It seems like share count is up quite a bit actually in the last year.
Yeah,
they cost around 637 right now, which is below book value, and they do generate both. Historically, also operating and free cash flow has been positive since they started the company during COVID. It seems like they started. And in that time also earnings has been positive all the time, but the debt has gone up quite a bit. What do you think about the?
That's my concern is the debt's relatively high. It's not too crazy, to be honest. It's
No.
not, but the dilution and all that. Like if I look at this last year, it says for me trailing 12 months is 68 million. But they raised a ton of shares. They did pay down some of this debt, but that's probably just almost interest or whatnot. So
yeah.
It makes me think that earnings number is probably not perfectly legit because it's probably a lot raised through equity, which makes me think that they could be struggling right now.
I'm also thinking at some point that they will, something will happen here where you get a bigger drop in the price. But they look to be like in I see some acquisitions every year, so they are doing they're growing in that way, taking on buying up stuff.
It's a spin-off from TELUS. Then they're talking that TELUS could technically bring them back in if they don't think they're going to do well enough on their own.
Okay.
And it looks like it IPO'd, and since then it's just done pretty abysmal.
Yeah. Yeah, this guy's saying like kind of what we were saying. Without M&A, those firms are anemic. There is no organic growth, too much influence from the parent company, not to forget all management, same old guys running the same old show. Plenty of competition, no competitive advantage. Interesting valuation nonetheless. Maybe talk to Roaring Kitty. What the hell?
Yeah, right.
Yeah, but it's a bit similar to what we said. Like the growth in the numbers looks a little bit not fake, but it seems like they will struggle at some point, right?
Yeah, it's not great.
Yeah.
And not to say it doesn't look okay. I just I don't know, the market's not appreciating what it's doing.
Yeah.
And Yeah, I guess I wonder where it goes from here.
It seems like the operating expenses is even up quite a bit actually every year. Yeah. No, I think we will just move on here, right?
I'm just trying to read through because the article valuation, I think he's just trying to argue it should be worth more on a free cash flow basis.
Yeah.
Yeah, it just looks to me like the company doesn't really have like a focus on where it's going. I'd like to read the earnings report or something to see what management's saying.
Yeah.
It says they reaffirmed mixed Q1 results and reaffirms its 24 outlook.
Is that from May?
Yeah, May 9th. It just basically says that they still think it's going to slowly grow. So
Yeah.
But yeah,
that's
I
a
mean, even
bit.
this guy's saying like the debt seems a little high. Like he's like, why are they running this with so much debt? So
It seems like here though, he's saying like delivered first quarter results in line with our expectations. It seems like everything is going the way they expect, and it's like this slow grow every year, you know, in the numbers and everything.
yeah, I mean the chart looks pretty good.
Yeah.
I feel like it might be a little like negative almost in terms of its segment, like worse than it should be.
What did you say now?
Sorry, what did you say?
No, I said I asked you what you said. I didn't hear you.
Oh, I was just saying, like on a weekly and everything, daily, it looks like the company's turning around. It just looks like a little bit late for an entrance, actually.
Yeah, I agree with that. Yeah, I think
You
that's
know,
what I saw, Dane, on the chart. Like on the daily, it looks like it has been a bit good lately, you know.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. I feel like if you had gotten in that like mid $5 range,
Yeah.
interesting there. And now it's it could keep going here. I don't know. On a
Yeah.
weekly and on a monthly, it doesn't look bad.
No. But if I was in this, I would probably trim a bit here. But I wanted to be involved in like end of June, around 560. I would probably take off some gains here if I were involved in this.
But I'm not gonna. I mean, I could see this get up to $8 from here.
Yeah.
If guidance stays the same, I could see this at $8. So I don't know. It's not like I'm like super one way or the other, but I just on the just it looks like the technicals are turning around right now.
Yeah.
And if you look at the Canadian exchange, it does trade at a premium to what it does on the I don't know what it's on, the New York Stock Exchange, I guess is what it's on. So something I guess to think about.
Oh, so there has been some. Oh no, this is a long time ago. I'm just checking Twitter, and there was talk about some inside buying, but that's a year ago.
Gotcha.
Okay. No, I'm a bit unsure with these ones, but I did like the chart when I pull it up now. Just for like a more like a trade style.
Yeah.
But I think with these numbers on a fundamental side and a big market cap already, you said you can see it go to 8, but it was at 11 earlier this year. Not this year, but in the last 52 weeks.
Yeah, I don't know if I see it get that high again, but
No, same.
But maybe, who knows? I mean, you know, I don't want to rule anything out, but I will say on the chart it looks good right now.
That spike up last time was also on our earnings, and the next one is in the beginning of August.
Everything's in the beginning of August.
Yeah.
I'm gonna probably be very careful that week not to go too crazy with anything.
Yeah. But okay.
Right, yeah, it looks all right.
Yeah. But I don't think I've added it to the database, but I'm not gonna add it to the tracker, I think.
I'm throwing it on deck.
Yeah.
Like I said, now it's bounced a little bit, so I would definitely kind of probably want to pull back here before it became interesting to me. But I've seen worse.
Yeah. Bit annoying that it's Canadian and we are lacking the insiders information.
Yeah, but to be honest, I mean, if you really want it, I'm sure if you go on X and stuff like that, I mean, you'll be able to see if someone buys.
Yeah.
But yeah, I agree. It kind of needs a little bit more and or a pullback on the chart for it to start to interest me, but I'll keep an eye on it.
Yeah. All right. I had the last one, WEYS, but we can do that maybe. I can do it on Thursday, probably.
Yeah, if you want to just save it.
Yeah.
Which, real quick, just pulled it up. Numbers look good, so probably an interesting one to go through.
Yeah. Yeah, they look good. They came in on the screener from yesterday, I think.
I mean, actually, I'm looking. Dude, numbers look fantastic. So.
Yeah. I will pull them up on Thursday then. You're not gonna come on Tuesday, was that right?
Yeah, I won't be able to be on Tuesday just because I won't be here. So I do plan on doing next Sunday with Johnny. We won't be able to, I won't be able to do Saturday because I won't be back until Sunday. But Sunday we'll do a stream, and then the following week I'll be normal. I might actually get on early that day because it'll just be me here, so I don't have any other responsibilities. So I can maybe I'll go on at 6. We'll do a little bit earlier and maybe try and do a little bit longer of a stream. We'll just see. I mean, depends on what I have going on that day too. But
you can buy
I'll
a
definitely
6-pack
be on
then.
that following Tuesday. Sorry, what'd you say?
You should buy a 6-pack for that stream.
Oof. I have enough beer in my fridge right now because I don't drink much. I don't drink all that much anymore. So you know, my fridge stays pretty stocked. You know, I always have an extra.
Yeah, it's important. Okay, but I will be on Thursday as normal, and then the next one will be Sunday. Then, and yeah, we can update you after that again. Hopefully, this coming week will be as good as this one was. Alto, just a little bit quick on Alto then. Alto finished at 160 this week, which I find was pretty good, to be honest, because it was down more than 160 on Friday, but it held up pretty good, I think. And if you look at the chart, I kind of like 160. What do you say, Dane?
Yeah, I think it looks good there, and I also think, interestingly enough, it got over 170 at one point. That's where I trimmed. It got into the upper 60s, and I trimmed a big part of it. And like I said, I am going to try and continue to kind of swing trade Alto. So I'm definitely hoping it continues to have a pullback here. I know for some people they probably don't want that, but I'm sorry. And who knows? I mean, everything's looking good right now, so it could continue to just kind of run right up until the earnings report. So that may have been a preemptive kind of sell, but I'm also happy to take gains on off the table too. So we'll see. But I think it's going to make it over too. I think it's going to by the end of but before the earnings report, I think it could hit too.
I think so too. You remember before it got this drop now, and before it got the last drop, it was around $2 for some time, and like 190 around there. So I don't think it's unrealistic that it will stay around 2 until the earnings report, and then this is the earnings report that we have waited a bit on. Hopefully we can get some news also on some of the projects, and maybe they can deliver a bit on the numbers. That's at least what I hope for.
Yeah, right.
But let's see how it goes.
Keep
exciting times though.
What'd you say?
Exciting times. It's you know, for me that has been for years in Alto. This is kind of the period I've been waiting for, exactly this summer. So it's gonna be great to see the development and the path they want to take for moving forward. I've been disappointed in the past, but I've also been surprised positively in the past with Alto. So I've experienced both.
Yeah, that's how it goes.
Yeah. All right, then. Then I will see you on Thursday, and then we do Sunday.
Sounds good.
Thanks for everyone tuning in. Thanks to Nicola for asking questions, and thanks for everyone who was watching. You know, if you have some tickers next time you see us, you want us to pull up, just post them in the chat, and we will try to do some research on it.
Yeah, be happy to.
Yeah. All right.
All right.
See ya.
Cheers, everybody. Have a nice weekend.